Today we're going to talk about acknowledgement. One of the most profound and simple things that you can do in your healing journey is to be self-acknowledging, right? To have sight of yourself, to have sight of your footprint. I had a conversation with a relative of mine that I haven't seen in maybe 8, 9 years. And the relative said something from maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago. She repeated something that I had said 20, 25 years ago. I don't remember saying this, but I'm sure that I did justify somebody teasing this person. And I'm sure that I did say what they said because that would have been a very survivalist thing to say, a very codependent survivalist thing to say, oh, you need to toughen up. But that isn't kind, right? That's not kind to tell somebody to just toughen up instead of saying, why the fuck are you talking to this person like that, right? But where I was 25, maybe even 30 years ago, I was in the mecca of survival. I had very small awareness or acknowledgement of the situation that I was in. And so when, just recently, just this last week, when somebody said to me, you said this, and I just looked at that person and I said, I said that? And they said, yeah, you did. And I just said, I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. And they said, oh, it's okay. And I said, well, it's actually not. And I just really hope that you can hear how sorry I am. This person said, well, you had a lot happening at the time. And, they were aware of it before I was. Learning to be aware of the situations that we're in, of our own footprint, can not only save us, but help encourage, stabilize, and bring to light situations that are unsafe for the people around us. The longer that we choose to lie to ourselves about our situation, the more dangerous the car driving at 100 miles an hour towards the cliff is going to become. The closer we're going to get to that cliff ledge of falling over the edge and having PTSD attacks, panic attacks, depression, deep, deep depression. A multitude of mental, emotional health complications can happen, in addition to just not being physically safe. So, how would it look like if you wanted to acknowledge that something was happening to you? So, let's take my situation of ending generational trauma. Little by little, I started to research, and I knew that something was wrong, but I didn't know what. So I just began to research and research and research and question and question and question. And the turbulence grew, the rage grew, the uncomfortableness grew to an explosive point. And on the other side of that explosive point, it became about taking stock of what to do next because I could no longer bury my head in the sand that I did not have options. I am a massive believer that there are always options. And when you run out of options, start looking at blessings because it is an option to look at your situation through the eyes of positivity or hatred. I believe that just the simple act of acknowledging the truth of where you're at can lead you to opportunity. And that begins within yourself of taking stock of your true gifts, talents, assets, and the real situation. I have dogs in the studio today, so you can probably hear them snoring and shaking. It is never too late to change the path or course that you're on. You are never too far down the road in any direction to ask for forgiveness and align your actions and your words and change. You are never too far down the road in, let's use finances, in financial oblivion to change the course and path that you're on. There are so many opportunities available to people who need to create income and have obstacles in order to create it. If you're a man or a woman breaking free of an abusive life and you have children or pets, there are options and opportunities, but you have to be willing to acknowledge that you need to make a change. It all begins with you stepping up and taking an honest to God look at the life that you're living. Once you do that, you can then start to get real about what steps, what paths, what opportunities you want to create for you. Today is a quick check-in, and I am really glad that you stopped by, because how you look at the footprint that you have in your life today is going to build the legacy for the people who look at the life you lived down the road. And I hope and I want for you to just ignite the courageous warrior inside you and action a life of possibility, not sit in regret and frustration and self-hate. A tiny, tiny step today to looking at yourself with reality-based lenses will help you determine what way to go. So we'll end with an exercise. If you have in your area a mirror, I want you to take a look in the mirror. If you don't have a mirror, look for a reflection. A window will give you a reflection. A picture frame will give you a reflection. Your phone, a puddle, a pond. I want you to look at yourself. And if you feel tears, I want you to let the tears come. If you feel joy, I want it to let you see the reflection of your smile. If you feel confusion, that's okay. I just want you to sit with it. But I want you to think of one thing that is really genuine about that person that you're looking at. If I were to look at my reflection, so if I turn left, I can see a picture that I got thrifting. And in the glass, and I see my reflection, I think grit. I am one gritty girl. I am not going to quit. There's just no quit in me. So what is your one thing? And there is no wrong answer, because whatever you see in that reflection just gives you a starting point. So you're just looking for that starting point and to connect with yourself in the right here and now. Because the only thing that is real and the only thing that exists is right now, right here. That's hard to take in sometimes because we get caught up in the but what if. But that is dangerous thinking that is not helpful or real. It's not real. The right here and now, I want you to take stock and acknowledge yourself. Whatever your reflection gives back to you, I want you to write it down somewhere And I want you to use it as a stepping stone. Research that word that came to your mind. If you came up with a whole sentence or a whole page of words when you look at your reflection, awesome. But I want you to research those words. And then out of that, I want you to create one actionable step. For instance, if I were somebody that I'm thinking of in my head, the image would be, I am worthless, which is so not true, right? But sometimes we can get those really horrible ideas in our head. And so that person's action step would be really to research all of the amazing things about them and to begin doing things to build a healthier self esteem and a healthier self relationship, a healthier self love, and to take time, take breaks, and build in some time for rest, build in some time for looking at your own authenticity, build in time for staying right here, right now. Okay, fabulous conversation. I am looking forward so much to hearing your thoughts on this one. And I can't wait to see what your word was or words. So drop those in the notes on Spotify or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, or shoot me an email. And I will be really interested to see. I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.